a great way to help the people in your community and learn about safety. Up next on Kbyrd.
Good afternoon, Jackets. I'm Mark Renato.
And I'm Erin Yonke. Welcome to this week's edition of Kbyrd, January 21st, 1994. Have you ever wondered about volunteer work and how much time is put into it? Kbyrd reporter Jennifer Woods talked with two Byrd students who volunteer for a very important organization, the fire department. Let's see what they had to say.
The fire department plays a very essential part in our community, from fighting fires to saving lives. Casey Hall and Richard Lopez, two Byrd seniors, devote their time and energy to the fire department and prepare for their future.
Yeah, I've had a little training since I've been here. You know, you learn a lot just from being around the station with the guys that, you know, have had a lot of experience.
Well, are you offered more training, like, daily?
Yeah, every day. Every day you come here, it's a new experience. You know, if you ride along on calls, you learn something on every call.
Well, you just start off like taking small classes like first aid and CPR stuff, and then as you start progressing, you know, you'll, like I took first responder about 3 or 4 months ago, and then I'm currently enrolled in the EMT class.
The bad side of people, you know, injuries, and it makes you, you know, you feel a little more thankful for what you've got, you know, and you know, you see the, you know, bad wrecks and stuff like that, and you know, it changes your way of thinking.
Well, it's changed life in many ways. You know, it's like it gives you something. You always have somewhere to go or something to do, and it makes you realize how much you have. You know, I mean, like when you go out and you're seeing people get hurt and killed in wrecks and stuff, you know, you think, you know, maybe I better slow down, or, you know, don't drink and drive.
Do you ever see wrecks that really get to you?
Young children are the main thing. You know, when you see a little kid get killed or their parent get killed in a wreck or something, you know, it really gets to you. But, you know, you just got to kind of look at it as you're doing all you can for them, and it's your job.
Here are some of the requirements for becoming a volunteer fireman. You must live in the same district as the volunteer fire department. You must be 15 years of age or older. And you must also be in good physical condition. Filling in for Jennifer Woods, I'm Jason Doan.
Like a rock, like a rock.
Almost every business welcomes volunteer work, so if you're interested, drop by your favorite organization to find out more.
Coming up, Shane Spears finds out what it's like to have the responsibility of a baby.
I'm Jennifer Harrell for the Kbyrd calendar. The competition is on tonight. The Lady Yellow Jackets play Southwood at 5:30, and the Yellow Jackets play Southwood at 7 o'clock. The games are at Southwood. Saturday, January 22nd is the SAT. Sunday, January 23rd is the deadline for the CFL season ticket drive. Tuesday, January 25th, the Lady Jackets and the Yellow Jackets play Airline at Byrd. The girls' game starts at 5:30 and the boys' game starts at 7, so come out and support your teams. January 31st is the LEAP test for seniors. The Winona concert is January 28th at Hirsch at 7 o'clock.
Last Monday was a very special day for many people. It was Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. Shaneeta Williams asked some Byrd students about what Dr. Martin Luther King means to them.
Martin Luther King means to me peace between the races and equality for all people.
I think he was a great person, a great leader, and he did a lot for this country, so I think he was very important.
I feel that Martin Luther King has left a definite imprint upon the entire United States, and that his philosophy and his teachings will go far to bring peace in America.
Kbyrd this week brought to you by FemUnique. For the ultimate in women's workout and fitness, check out FemUnique at 868-2084.
Ever Ever since you were young, you dreamed of growing up and having cute little children to play with. Well, Miss Dodson, the psychology teacher at Byrd, gave her students the opportunity to see what it's like to have a child. And they learned that there's a lot more to it than what they expected. Kbyrd reporter Shane Spears has the story.
At this point in our lives, many of us don't even think about raising a child. But Mrs. Dodson's psychology classes experimented with the idea of having a child a few weeks ago. We asked Mrs. Dodson a little bit about the project.
What I hoped to do was, we were talking about infancy and childhood and adolescence, and the idea was we were following up on a tradition of carrying egg babies, and part of it was to learn the responsibility of having to keep up with something besides just yourself. And so I decided flour bags would be a little bit more trouble and maybe a little bit less mess.
Have you learned anything from this project?
Just that you have to be responsible and try and keep your baby with you at all times. And don't forget it.
Was it fun?
It was all right. It got to be a pain trying to carry all the books and getting into your locker and carrying around 5 pounds.
It's not so much fun, but I mean, it takes a lot of trouble to try and carry your books and your baby at the same time.
Have you learned anything from it?
Yeah, you have to be real responsible and watch other people because they're trying to kidnap your child and stuff.
I think we're learning that you have to pay attention all the time. There have been some efforts at sabotage and forgetting them in the last class and having to think about it everywhere you go. It's just, something besides yourself that you have to be responsible for.
It teaches that babies aren't always fun and cute, and they're a lot of responsibility. And even though the flour bag, you don't have to change its diaper, it's still a lot of weight.
Have you learned anything from this project?
Not to have a baby for a very long time, and that it's great responsibility, and it gets heavy.
And students say the project helped give them a better perspective on parenting. For Kbyrd, I'm Shane Spears. Back to you, Aaron.
Thanks, Shane. And all the students agreed that it's hard work having a kid, and they're glad the project is finally over.
So, Bill, tell us about sports this week.
This week in sports, we're going to find out what Shreveport and the Canadian Football League have in common.
This portion of Kbyrd has been brought to you by Cablevision of Shreveport. They can be reached at 631-3060.
For 2 weeks, Shreveport has been trying to get the Canadian Football League to bring an expansion team to Shreveport for the 1994 season, which starts in July. I met up with Bonsai Ben and John James Marshall, hosts of a local call-in talk show, to see what the chances are of football coming to Shreveport.
Are you ready for some football?
The Canadian Football League is looking to expand in the U.S. Last season, the Sacramento Gold Miners were the first team in the United States to join the CFL. Now the CFL wants Shreveport to join them. So what are our chances of landing a franchise in Shreveport?
I think the chances of Shreveport getting a CFL team are 90-10 as of right now. I think that everything is in place. It's just a matter of getting the actual paperwork done and getting the tickets sold. But I think that's going to happen, no question. There's always something that could happen, but I don't foresee it. I think it's definitely going to come here.
Being the host of the call-in sports talk show, what is the reaction of your listeners about the CFL coming to Shreveport?
Reaction has been very positive. I expect it to be very positive, but not so much as it has been. I mean, it's been a little more overwhelming than I thought it was going to be, let's put it that way. I think people have been very interested. People who listen to my show or our show are very into sports. There is some people out on the edge who not that interested in sports and listen anyway, and they're interested too. So I think that it's for the sports fan and kind of casual sports fan also. I mean, it's got everything, and the CFL is a can't-miss deal.
What are some major differences between the NFL and the CFL?
The first thing, NFL is boring, and the CFL is exciting, okay? And the reason that the CFL is exciting, a number of reasons. Of course, there are 12 players on each side of the ball, more players. Field is wider. It's 110 yards long instead of 100. 20-yard end zones. The main thing is the CFL mandates offense. They want excitement. With a wider field and a longer field, more chance for offense. 3 downs, of course, to make 10 yards. Only 20 seconds between plays. Not 40, 20 seconds between plays. That's great.
As of yesterday, a round figure of 4,000 season tickets had been sold to try to convince the CFL to bring a franchise to Shreveport. Season tickets are still available at any of the 11 convenient locations of Commercial National Bank for a deposit of $15. In other sports news, Byrd wide receiver Kbyrd announced Monday that he was going to play football for Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge. Good luck, Chris, and congratulations, LSU.
That's it for Kbyrd this week, Jackets.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.